Hey everyone. So in today's video, I am very excited because we get to talk about my fragrance favorites at Sephora. Honestly, I think like most of my collection of fragrances can be found at Sephora. I wanted to talk about my absolute top recommendations. I'm going to talk about the fragrances that I think are going to be fan favorites. Like I can see a lot of folks really jiving with them, but then I'm also going to mention a couple fragrances that I think are a little bit more unique. So we really have something for everyone in this video. And also, speaking of which, it is actually the Sephora's Fragrance for All event right now through December 24th, which means you can get 20% off all full-size fragrances at Sephora right now. They are kindly sponsoring this video, by the way. Completely over the moon and grateful about that. So the Fragrance for All event is open to everyone. All you have to be is a beauty insider. You can also get free same-day shipping. The codes are stackable. So you can go in-store to Sephora or Kohl's, buy online and pick up if you're looking for like these last-minute gifts, because honestly, I'm scrambling. I don't know where December went. So again, really nice for last minute gifts, but the Fragrance for All event is also online as well. So you can shop in store, online, whatever suits you. I'm gonna leave more details down below, but let's just get into the recs. Let's talk about gourmand fragrances. I'm gonna talk about a few, but I wanna talk about this one because it is my number one fragrance recommendation as far as sweet scents at Sephora. It is the oh so delicious Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato. I've tried a lot of gourmand fragrances. I love a gourmand. This to me is going to be a crowd pleaser. I can just imagine a lot of people really enjoying it. And I have to say, out of all of my gourmand fragrances, this is my most complimented. There are notes of pistachio gelato, hazelnut, sweet rum, whipped cream, marshmallow, and cotton candy. The bottle does get a little bit weird after a while. I guess it just shows like how often I use this, but it is a really lovely kind of marshmallowy cotton candy smell. There is a soft nuttiness. I do think for folks that really like that kind of sweet whipped cream smell, I have a feeling you're going to very much enjoy this. It warms up on the skin and in the bottle, it kind of smells sweeter than it ends up going onto the skin. It kind of melts into the skin to become a touch softer, but I think through and through, this is a very sweet smell. It is one that for me makes me feel very feminine. It's also very near and dear to my heart because when my boyfriend and I were getting to know each other early in the days, this is the fragrance that I would always wear. So to me, it smells like young love. But yeah, it is just a very yummy, sweet, softly nutty, but more so like marshmallow, cotton candy kind of smell. If that is up your alley, just it is, I think, my top rec as far as those very sweet smells. But there is one fragrance I wanted to recommend to those of you that do kind of like something slightly sweeter, but you want to venture out and add a little bit of spiciness to your fragrance, something that's going to feel a little bit sexier or have a little bit more warmth. Dead Cool Taunt is such an underrated fragrances. In the world of so many beautiful fragrances, to me, there are so many spicy fragrances that go onto the skin and just feel overly spicy. And then they kind of smell very tobacco-y. And just for my personal preference, I want warmth. I really prefer something more musky, more like skin smell, rather than something very spicy, because sometimes I feel like it goes a little bit acidic on me. Okay, back to Dead Cool Taunt. I think that this is the underrated cool girl fragrance. In general, I think Dead Cool can really do no wrong. If this is your first time hearing about Dead Cool, I see huge things for this brand because the fragrances are beautiful. So Taunt is really lovely because it has notes of vanilla, but there's also a really nice warm amber note to this. And sometimes I hear amber and I think that's going to be really strong, that's going to be really powerful. but it's incredibly balanced. Really, it just ends up smelling like a skin-like vanilla, and I think that that is what a lot of us look for. If you've heard of, like, Fleur Vanilla Skin, I actually really like that one as well, but this to me is the edgier version of that, and it feels more unique. It is another one of those fragrances that I get those consistent compliments on, and more importantly, every fragrance is going to smell a little bit different on everyone, as we know. This fragrance, though, I can see warming up kind of universally really well on people. It's just one of those fragrances. Amber typically smells pretty nice on a lot of folks. So if you're someone you want that warm, spicy base, but you also want a touch of sweetness to kind of balance it out and make it smell a little bit more like skin, I really, really highly recommend this one. It is underrated. But getting back to like skin sort of smells, Glossier recently came out with two new fragrances. Glossier You has been a favorite fragrance of mine for a very long time. And I gotta tell you, I actually have smelled Glossier Dew, and that's more of their musky scent. If you are thinking about either of those fragrances, I highly recommend Glossier Dew because that one is more spicy, a little bit more woodsy. So if you're looking for woodsy, I would go with that one. The other one is not, I don't think it smells great on me, so it is a pass for me. It's not bad, but I think I have other ones I like more. However, if you're looking for a replacement or something different than Glossier You, you've worn that for a long time. I think Missing Person by Fleur is it's absolutely exceptional. Does smell like you're pulling out a comforter from the dryer that's, like, really warm. It's just that laundry smell. It is, by the way, not soapy at all. It doesn't smell soapy to me. It's almost like that fabric softener, warmth, like the best sleep. Like, when you get into bed, it's super early, it's like, I don't know, 9 PM for me would be early to go to bed, but you have a really warm comforter and you're tired and you're just like with someone that you love. It's that feeling. So whenever I smell Missing Person, it is incredibly comforting, incredible. It's like a subtle sexy that is hard to describe. It's sexy without trying to be sexy. Anyone that likes Glossier You has the potential to actually like this more. I think this is also going to smell better on more people as well. So, I do know that as far as Fleur goes, this is kind of the fragrance that put them on the map, though there are other fragrances that I think people talk about more now. Like a lot of people love, again, like Vanilla Skin is a huge one for them. Not Your Baby is another one. That's a gorgeous floral, by the way. I smelt this and I said, what is this brand? I need every fragrance that they make. We're going to talk about another Fleur fragrance in a second, but I want to get back to a sweeter gourmand that is just a little bit more balanced. Now, don't get me wrong. I will always love Kayali Young Pistachio. When I'm not afraid to go sweet, this is what I'm going for. I love it. I really do. However, it's not like the most balanced smell. It's like sweet on sweet on sweet. If you are looking for sweet gourmand with a ton of complexity, with kind of a sweetness but a lightness as well, Mesa Margiela Afternoon Delight has been a sleeper hit for me this year. It is absolutely delightful. So it is more of a baked good smell. It is that warm Madeline cookie. Actually, believe it or not, I waited to be in this video to pick out a fragrance that I wanted to wear today, and I'm just gonna make it this one. Because as far as fragrances go for like the winter, like sweet fragrances, I've always loved By the Fireplace. And honestly, that one still is like a huge favorite for me. However, Afternoon Delight, it has almost this touch of milkiness to it, and I've noticed a lot of fragrances going more to the milky route, and we'll talk about another one in a second. I love it because it smells like a Madeleine cookie with a glass of milk. It's fresh and light, but also nice and milky. There's that vanilla warmth, but it is truly an expensive vanilla smell. Almost slightly like a fresh Rice Krispie kind of smell. Not super marshmallowy sweet. It still has all that crispy rice kind of lightness. Absolutely delectable. So if you're someone you like a sweeter gourmand smell, but you want it to be balanced, you don't want it to be vanilla on vanilla on vanilla on vanilla. You don't even want it to be like really like deep, deep vanilla flavors. This is a very light vanilla. Again, I love that they went with a Madeleine cookie because when you think about those cookies, they're not particularly sweet. They almost have a biscuity note, just a touch of biscuitiness, a touch of milkiness, and then the most delectable vanilla. It is really good. And I gotta tell you, it smells very expensive. Because there's so many vanillas on the market, I think they all start to kind of smell the same, and some of them kind of smell cheap. This is just on another level as far as vanilla fragrances go. So if you're a lover of vanilla, if you want to go more spicy and more edgy, I would go Dead Cool Taunt. But if you want to go really, really sweet, a little bit more marshmallowy whipped cream, I would go with Kayali, but if you are really into these light, expensive, airy, sweet kind of vanillas, then I would go with Afternoon Delight. Really a bomb fragrance. I was not even expecting to love it as much as I do. And by the way, all the fragrances I'm mentioning personally last a long time, and this one is no different. However, if you're more of a woodsy person and you're just sitting here like Amanda, what is there for me? Fleur father figure changed my fragrance world in a sense that I was always really afraid of more woodsy smells because I get headaches very easily, unfortunately, with fragrance. I had automatically thought, like, no, there's no way. This is going to give me a headache, massive headache. Never did. It is absolutely amazing. I even go so much to say that folks that are looking into Glossier do, I would just be curious if you had smelt father figure. The notes are not exactly the same, but father figure is delightful. It has a fresh fig note that is really nice and green. However, the base notes are musk, sandalwood, patchouli leaf, and Madagascar vanilla. So what you get is an incredibly warm base, but then with all of these green top notes. So it makes for like such a balanced fragrance. Truly, in my opinion, unisex. You're a fan of very expensive like Santal fragrances. I don't think I'm allowed to say the name in this video. If that is your thing, Fleur father figure to me blows most of them out of the water. Incredibly sensual. That kind of patchouli suede note to it mixed with that little bit of vanilla and fig. The balance is insane. Honestly, for me, as far as fragrances I'm reaching for a lot, I sometimes reach for father figure over missing person, even though I love missing person. I mean, both together are kind of like next level. I'll just be honest. Last but certainly not least, I don't know where the bottle I have is because I only have the travel size. Layering fragrances is a huge thing right now. And I wanted to talk about that in today's video because for me, Dead Cool Milk or Dead Cool Extra Milk is the optimal layering fragrance because it just adds this really beautiful milkiness to any fragrance you have. So let's say you have a fragrance that is a little bit too spicy, or you have a fragrance that is a little bit too floral, or you have a fragrance that is a little bit too acidic or too peppery. Any fragrance that you have, adding Dead Cool Milk or Dead Cool Extra Milk, by the way, I've smelt both. I only have Dead Cool Milk, but the only difference that I saw when I tested Extra Milk in store is that it's just more potent and it lasts longer. So I don't know. I would be more keen to recommend Extra Milk, But I think that Dead Cool Milk is better for more subtle layering. So it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. It just is a beautiful layering fragrance. It makes all your other fragrances more milky, kind of more subdued. And it's almost like, this is gonna sound so weird. It's like a setting spray for your makeup, but fragrance. Just that setting mist that kind of melts all of your makeup together to make it all look more seamless, all feel more natural. That is Dead Cool Milk and Extra Milk. Beautiful layering fragrances. So yeah, I wanted to do a top five, but I ended up wanting to include the Dead Cool Milk. So this is a top six. Maybe I'll still call it top five. Because if for some reason people love a top five rather than a top six. By the way, a lot of you guys have recently been commenting on my cardigan, probably because it's like the only thing I've been wearing for like 2 months now. I'm gonna leave a link down below to it. It's from Ozma, one of the best pieces of clothing I've ever bought in my life. So I'll leave a link down below to it, as well as all the products that were on my face. But yes, all of these fragrances during the Fragrance for All event at Sephora are 20% off through the 24th. And again, you can get that same day shipping, or you can buy online and pick up in store at Sephora or Kohl's. And also it's online, so you can just get shipping as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment down below if you want me to compare certain fragrances to others, if you need just help deciding. I'm in the comments. I'm happy to help. Thank you again to Sephora for sponsoring the video, and I will see you guys in my next one.